This is the show where two friends from different parts of the world discuss all things, all elite wrestling. And one of them actually knows what they're talking about. We'll let you decide. Welcome to the Beauty and the Beard Pro Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Woody and Sarah.
Welcome, everybody. This is your AEW Dynamite review for June 30th, 2021. And this was the last Dynamite in Jacksonville, Florida for a while, because AEW is hitting the road and heading to Miami next week. If you're new to the show, just to let you know, we are all elite all the time. That's all we talk about. We do several shows a week. We do Dynamite reviews like you're listening to now, Q&As, topic discussions, and pretty soon we're going to be reviewing Rampage, which is going to be debuting August 13th. We also preview and review pay-per-views when they happen. You can follow the channel at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play. You can follow Sarah at Strange_Pixie.
That's right.
But wow, Dynamite's night. It was amazing. It had moments that were a little bit of a letdown. Not gonna lie. So many amazing things that singular possible letdown that I know we both agree on. I'm sure a lot of people do. Even that couldn't bring the show down because I thought it was great. It was also very emotional. There were some moments, especially there at the end, that I'm not too proud to say brought a tear to my eye.
Real men cry.
Yep, they do, and this one did. Just a little bit. So, Sarah.
Yes.
Are you ready to talk some Dynamite?
I am. Let's go.
All right. First of all, we had Jericho on commentary tonight. He came out to the chorus of Judas from the crowd, which is always fun to hear, especially when there is an actual live crowd instead of just wrestlers around the ring. But yeah, it's always fun to hear that. So to me, it's good to have Jericho on commentary. I really enjoy him on commentary. Yeah, I know not everybody does. I think he's great on there.
Yeah, I think his entire persona suits commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has to be good at it. He's been in the business for how long? So he must have picked up a few tips and tricks.
Tons of knowledge, and I know as a person who's still a performer, still a wrestler now, a lot of times his character comes through in that where he's almost a little too much in character on commentary. Yeah. But later on down the road when he retires and if he decides to go into commentary, which I hope he does, going to subside a little when he can just fully settle into that commentary role. It's going to be amazing. But we're not ready for him to retire yet.
No,
still got some gas in the tank, man. Yes, let's keep it going. Match of the night was Penta and Eddie Kingston versus the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. And if Eddie and Penta win this match, or if they won this match, they would get a future title shot against the Young Bucks. And before we really get into the match, I just want to take a moment. Yes, we have to take a moment.
I had to jump in. I'm sorry, I had to jump in because something grew on their face.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Their facial hair tonight was. I don't have words for it. I really don't.
I almost choked on my morning coffee for this, by the way. The Young Bucks almost killed me inadvertently. So let's just, put that out there.
The moment they walked out, I was like, oh, my jaw dropped. What have they done? They're taking this thing you think it can't, I'm not going to say get any worse. You think it can't get any more outlandish. Each time you see them, they go for, with the 80s style look to the clothes, to the earring going from the hat to the ear. And one thing, and then all of a sudden, every time they come out, they something else. And this right here, it's another level, oh my goodness, I don't know.
They've got to walk down the street looking like this. No offense to anybody who sports this type of facial hair, but I mean, it's sort of been and gone a few decades ago.
Yeah. It's almost like I mean, you got Matt. It looks like he's. And I was going to say it looked like a porn stash. I mean, that's what it looked like. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what he's going for, but that's the vibe I got.
I don't want to think about him like that.
And Nick
Some
rocking
really
the
awful
Fu
music behind him.
All right. Okay. So look, I tweeted out about it last night, and Lanny Helmsley, what's going on, dude?
I did. He's awesome.
Yeah, he commented on my tweet. Nick Jackson looks like the long lost son of Kevin Nash. That's pretty accurate.
Very long lost son.
Pretty accurate. Oh wow!
I mean, I'm expecting him now to go to Brian Pillman Jr. and get some tips on getting a mullet, because I don't know how far they're willing to take this.
Oh man, you know what? Don't give him any ideas, because we might have the Mullet Brothers, Nick. Oh man, wow. Like Joe Dirt.
It is a choice. They have made a choice.
Yeah, it's like I know you'd mentioned before we started recording. What are their wives thinking?
Yeah,
and their kids. I mean, they have to still live. They
have to still exist in the world.
Yeah. They don't just disappear when Dynamite's over with. I mean, I'm assuming they go shopping, or they. I know they're on the road, but they're going to go into an actual place of business or restaurant
I imagine
to eat.
Going to one of their kids' sporting events or something, and there's just all these mothers shielding the children away. They're like, the hell? They not everybody knows who Matt and Nick Jackson are. Not everybody watches. I know it's shocking to believe, but
everybody doesn't know.
Everybody doesn't know, and they have to walk around the street and just exist in public.
Man, I feel like we're going to talk more about their facial hair than we are about this match.
I know. We really should move on to the match, but I literally could spend about an hour talking about this.
I mean, but it's so hard to move on from something like that. How do you? So.
I know.
But we're going to try to, because the match was great. Not as great as that facial hair, but it's great. Look, there's a lot of stuff going on in this match. Eddie looked tough as nails. Penta looked amazing. But the Young Bucks always put on great matches. There's one point here. They do. They do. There's one point here where it looked like Eddie, did he legitimately hurt his ribs? He was struggling through half the match holding his side. I'm not sure if he was selling. If he was doing a really good job of selling there, because I was worried about it.
I just want him to stay safe, because when Mox arrives back, they've got to be friends, and they can't have one injured, because one's been away and we need them back together.
You want to keep the wild things going, huh?
It's literally, I'm really not missing Mox that much.
Yeah. But Penta at one point hit a corkscrew code red on Matt, and he got what looked like a possible 3 count. The crowd thought it was a 3 count.
Oh my god,
it was close. It was close. I'm going to say it was 2 3/4, but of course I'm a Bucks guy. So, yeah. So, but at that point, the Good Brothers kind of made their way out, and it distracted the ref, and Cutler got himself involved. He was going to spray some cooling spray in Penta's eyes, and this is where the plan just fell apart, because he didn't get Penta. He got Matt, and he just kept spraying. I
think he had a panic attack.
His fingers got stuck. It just kept spraying, and Matt didn't go anywhere. Just kept taking it. And then Kaz showed up and took out Cutler. Again, the elite hunter coming out of nowhere, Frankie Kazarian, and he creamed Cutler on the outside. Eventually, this led a package pile driver on Matt, and Matt popped up right into the backhand from Eddie Kingston, and that led to Eddie and Penta winning this match. Matt was pinned, and the Eddie Kingston and Penta will now get a shot at tag titles.
This is crazy.
Thank you, Brandon Cutler, for screwing everything up.
Thank you, Brandon Cutler, for screwing it up.
Yes.
You can say the same sentence with a different affliction. and it can mean something completely different.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I guess.
Can I just say thank you? Because I mean, I would like that hoodie. I went on to shop AEW, and that hoodie does not exist. It exists as a t-shirt, but not as a hoodie. And I want it as a hoodie because I would like to join you. I would like to join you as an elite hunter because, yeah, they do my nutting too. You know. This is what I love about AEW, right? Every single opening match seems to just hit you in the face. And you just like, where did that like opening go? Because it's just like you blink and it's so fast paced and it's so explosive that it just happens. And like I've had to go back and watch it a few times to take different bits in because I literally was like, I can only take bits of this in at stages because it's just so much was going on. But no, I loved it, and my boy Eddie did good. Yeah, should have been Moxley, but I'll take it either way.
He did, and I was seriously, I didn't get on Twitter to look or to check to see if his injury was legit or not, but it just seemed out of nowhere the way he was holding his ribs or his side, and I think
if it was
I couldn't
legit,
take my eyes off of
about it.
Yeah, I just couldn't take my eyes off of it, and when I saw it. The rest of the match because it looked like he was struggling through a lot of those moves. Again, it may have been just him selling. If so, hats off to you because I bought it, every bit of it. I was worried about it. Why was I worried about Eddie Kingston, man? What?
Because you like
he's supposed to be the enemy. But I'll tell you what a cool look to this. The way it was different. They had the little ramp set up behind the. There was like a little walkway in front of the fans.
Yeah.
It was a great shot after the match because you had Frankie Kazarian back there.
Yeah.
With Penta and Eddie in the ring. It was just all that was just a nice.
It just looked like an acknowledgement of got you.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
all the
him just in the background.
AEW, all the feels.
Very good. Speaking of getting in the feels, in the next segment. Christian was giving Jungle Boy some encouragement after his loss to Kenny Omega last week. Christian said he's proud of Jungle Boy, that he believes he will be a champion one day. So he's kind of giving him a pat on the back, let him know that the future is bright for him, even though he lost that match. And then Luchasaurus thanked Christian for having Jungle Boy's back and says that he will now have Christian's back with his issues with the Hardy family office. And then apparently Christian revealed that he's also part dinosaur, which is interesting.
I literally could have took that so many ways. Thanks, Christian. I was like, well, no, maybe, no, okay, you're still good. You're still good. I do not trust Christian Cage right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I don't
trust him. I feel like he's got an ulterior motive. Just the looks to the camera, the buddying up to Luchasaurus. I don't know. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I just have a niggly bagged feeling that this may not end well eventually.
So you're thinking that this may be going the direction of a Christian Jungle Boy feud?
I'm expecting this to just be like a massive heel turn at some point for Christian, and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt will be at the brunt of it for some reason.
Because that's a really good way to help build Jungle Boy up even more too. Because if you have a long feud with somebody like Christian with his pedigree, and have Jungle Boy go over in the end, then that's an awesome way to use a legend. And
is that what they did with Jericho?
Exactly, but it would be interesting though because they're talking about kind of aligning to take on the Hardy family office. So I would be curious if Christian ends up working with Matt at some point. I don't know.
I just with Christian Cage, just look at every little detail that is involved in that because I don't trust him.
Sarah is on record not trusting Christian.
I've never trusted Christian, let's be honest, as a Hardy Boys fan. Like,
good point.
Like, I've never trusted him.
You would trust Big Money Matt before you would trust Christian. Hey,
Oh yeah, he's my original.
Hey.
He's the guy.
hey. All right. Next, we got a segment with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky with Tony Schiavone. Which, with all these Tony Schiavone interviews, Tony doesn't get to talk much. He just
just hands off the microphone.
Yeah, and that's it. Walk away. So the question here is why a coffin match? And Ethan kind of laid it out saying that he wanted to exterminate Darby. It's not enough just to beat Darby, because no matter what he does, Darby just keeps coming back. So he wants to cripple him mentally. And we talked about this. We talked about how Darby some of Darby's character, the layers we see, a lot of his maybe insecurities, trying to prove things to people. So it's interesting here that Ethan is diving into that, saying that he's really wanting to attack the mentality of Darby Allin. And because he says after this match, he wants every time that Darby does the coffin drop, he wants Darby to think of Ethan. And that's when Sting's music hit. And Sting rolls out with something that looked like a coffin, and it absolutely was a coffin because Darby popped out of it.
Sting and Darby are involved. It may look like a coffin. It 100% is a coffin.
It's a coffin, yeah. Is that a coffin? It's a coffin.
It's a coffin.
That's weird. So they both hit the ring. Sting hit the Scorpion Death Drop on Scorpio Sky. Darby ended up jumping on Ethan Page's back and gouging at his eyes. He had to be pulled off by security. I guess it was security. They had to pull Darby off of him. And after this, Ethan made an announcement, said that the match was off now. There's not going to be a coffin match. That the only way there's going to be one is if Darby agrees to leave him alone, stays off of him. That maybe we would get the coffin match at Fyter Fest. I can't remember if he said night 1 or night 2, but it was going to be at one of the Fyter Fest shows. I thought this was interesting because, man, I was looking forward to that coffin match next week. It's an interesting twist to it. I mean, it works for the Hillside for Ethan Page, but I'm wondering why it got moved.
See, I was listening to What Culture before, and I think their take on it is because they're going to Miami and what's just happened in Miami, maybe a coffin match isn't in good taste.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. That is, good call. Good call.
Like,
if that's the case.
That's their thinking. We don't know, but you would have thought AEW being quite, sensitive to things that might play a part into it.
Yeah. If you're not sure what we're talking about, they had the condo collapse there in Miami. So that would be a good call not doing that. I didn't think about that. So,
no, I didn't until I heard it from What Culture, and then I put 2 and 2 together and was like, yeah, actually that makes more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on board with that then.
But with regards to this actual bit though, like, don't you just love the crowd being back when a heel's talking? How much have you missed that noise of just like not letting them speak? You can just see from Paige getting more and more like, I really need to get this promo out, guys. I'm just going to talk to Tony Schiavone, but really loudly. Oh, jeez, it's absolutely brilliant.
So I think we talked about how Ethan Page is really working in with the mental side of things with Darby. I think that's the right story to tell, though.
And I
think that's where his weakness is.
Yeah, 100%. I also love the fact that Darby Allin, like, that little like heel tendency again that we've seen, where he just goes a bit overboard, and you just see Sting just like, all right, I'm gonna let you go for this. Like, he's just standing back after Darby last time told him to just stay home. So like Sting's just like
giving him his space.
He didn't even like help to get Darby off Ethan. He didn't help the rest. He just stood there. No,
it's almost like he's gonna let Darby make his own mistakes now. Like, okay, we'll see if it works. If it don't, then you can come ask for advice if you want it. But I'm not gonna.
I'm just glad we didn't get the salad thing.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad nobody got their salad tossed tonight.
Hey, people, if you've never listened to this podcast before, are going, what? But you'd have to listen to the you'd just have to listen to the previous stuff.
Yeah, there was a scenario that she had somehow concocted in her mind of where Darby was going to be eating a salad in the back. Sting's going to come up and start talking to him about issues he has, and Darby's going to toss his own salad because he's angry. Just lettuce and tomatoes and anger. Yep.
Yeah, because then we started talking about apples and oranges and
fruit. Yeah, as a whole. It ended up being a poll, which is one of the weirdest polls that we will ever have on this podcast. But, you know.
It was a close call in that poll as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, boy. Yep. So, next we had a match between Jack Evans and Jungle Boy. And this was brought up because Matt wants Jack Evans to injure Jungle Boy. He's not even concerned that whether Jack Evans is going to win this match or not. He just wants Jungle Boy to be injured. He wants some revenge. So, and also Jungle Boy's looking for his 50th win in this. Didn't realize that. So he has more wins than anybody else in the company.
Yeah.
Check. Wow, that's a pretty cool accomplishment, and that's something you don't often hear in wrestling companies.
No,
I know it's big with AEW with the ranking system, but it's kind of cool when you look. Man, Jungle Boy is the winningest wrestler in AEW history right now, so it's kind of cool to keep track of stuff like that.
Yeah, love that.
It holds some weight with me. But yeah, great match. I mean, with these two guys, it's going to be a fast-paced match. In the end, Jungle Boy locked on the snare trap to get the submission win. But in the post-match, the Hardy family office ran in, but were cut off by Jurassic Express and Christian. Christian ended up hitting his finisher on Hardy and then choked him out with Hardy's own coat in the ring. So what did you think of all this?
This was a good little match. I mean, it's not really, anything that's significant in that sense as in like progression of anything, but it's tying in obviously the problems that are developing between obviously Hardy's side and now obviously Jungle Express and Christian. But I still think Christian's the snake in the grass. I do not trust that guy. Ever since he's had them goggles, I've never trusted him.
Ever since he's had the goggles.
Do you remember when he was like Edge and Christian and like he had them stupid goggles on?
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you. I remember now.
Yeah.
So the goggles are what did it for you.
I don't trust the guy that wears goggles when he's not swimming.
Note to self: never wear those goggles again. Okay. Now where were we? Okay, Yeah. So we saw MJF in the back, and he's got a lot going on because he's dealing with Sammy Guevara tonight, but he also has Jericho on his mind. So it's kind of a dual promo here. Yeah. So he wants to give Jericho one more match. He wants one more match to just put Jericho down. But he's going to make Jericho jump through some hoops to get this match. Not sure what those hoops are going to be yet, but I'm sure we'll find out possibly next week. But he also says that he will deal with Jericho's protege, Sammy Guevara, tonight. And that when he's done beating Sammy, he wants Sammy to tell everybody on his vlog that MJF is better than him. He knows it. How'd you like this promo from Maxwell?
Every time he cuts a promo and his little evil face is there, I always go, they'll never be able to turn you face, dude. You just never will. There's just no way. Like, there's some people in this company that, they're probably nice people on the outside. I just don't see how he is. Like, I legitimately I don't understand how he can, like, could you, like, imagine seeing, like, MJF helping little old lady across the road? He might likely kick her across the road. Like, he's so good that I actually think he is that. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of them, you can see a little sliver of goodness in some of the things, like, okay, but
humanity.
You're right. You're right. Yes, some humanity in somebody. That's a good word. So, but you're right. When you look at MJF, give it a shot. You're not going to be able to find that in anything he says, and the way he says it, and the way he carries himself. It's virtually impossible to find a sliver goodness, of humanity in him. And that is a great heel. He is so good at what he does.
I'm just so glad.
Good.
I'm just so glad that he's not in WWE. Could you imagine him doing Make-A-Wish?
Oh. But there's no way he would be able to play this character like he does.
No, I know.
There.
But could you just imagine him trying to do Make-A-Wish?
It would be one time. They would never let him do it again. Yep. They would never let him do it again. One try. And we would never see the footage.
He'd be in court.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not already. I've seen some of the stuff he's done.
I would have thought he'd been close too.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's a reason that Sarah never quote tweets MJF.
There is a very good reason.
And when she's scared, it should tell you something.
Yeah.
Because
I just don't want to go down that rabbit hole, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I can't.
Because I'm good at stuff, but I'm not that good.
It's okay to be afraid.
So I do not care. I literally hold my hands up and say, I would never do a meet and greet with any wrestler for one that I don't think I'd be able to cope with it. We know the reason I can't meet Marks because I'll just beat a puddle on the floor.
You'll melt. Absolutely.
But I could never meet MJF because I think I would just cry. I just genuinely think I would just cry.
Don't make her cry.
And when I cry, I ugly cry, and it's not pretty. And my eyeliner would run, and
Sarah's an ugly crier.
And it would just look like a goth had been through a car wash. It wouldn't be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah's an ugly crier. That's not.
She is.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty.
Next
what did Andrade have to say?
Next we had Andrade with Alex Abrahantes, and I'm just gonna say it's weird to me having Alex with Penta doing that thing and then having him do an interview in the back. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, it is a bit bizarre, but I guess he is still kind of like.
Yeah. I know.
I think it's kind of like he's now just like the guy that speaks to like people that speak Spanish.
Yeah, but like he's out there with the gimmick jacket on and doing the thing with Penta, like and then all of a sudden he's like, yes, he's just all normal in the back. It just
sensible,
to me it was just like, yeah, I was like, wait, no, but it's cool either way. But anyway, so Andrade said that he will make an example of the man who interrupted him last week in Miami. Next week, we will get Andrade versus Matt something.
I just love this. I was literally like laughing so hard. Matt something, and Alex is like side down. And he goes, yes, Matt something. And it's like, yes, this is what I do in my head when I don't like when I'm introduced to people I just know instantly I don't like. I just go, yeah, something. Yeah, something.
So. Yeah, that was great. I love just that little nugget from him was a nice touch.
Poor Matt Seidel's not having a great run in AEW. Debuted and slipped. And then he's getting called Matt something.
But yeah,
okay.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
Okay.
Yes.
Woody, deep breath for the next bit.
Oh yeah, this is a big one. This is a big moment here. So this next segment, we didn't realize we were going to get this moment. It surprised me, surprised you, surprised everybody probably. But AEW
it made my
World
heart
Champion.
Beat faster.
Yes, it made mine stop a couple of times, but it started back obviously because I'm here talking.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. It's always good for your heart to beat. So, but AEW World Champion Kenny Omega came to the ring to talk with Tony Schiavone. Again, Tony didn't do much. Kenny. First of all, can we respect Kenny's facial hair here too?
I literally think the Elite have been gifted shavers.
They're going wild with this stuff.
If they don't do that on BT as a bit, I will be disappointed. Like they've just been gifted shavers.
I think they've got a endorsement or something with Harry's or Shave Club for Men or something. I don't know. But anywho, that I know we've been talking about facial hair a lot. I don't want to focus on that too much here because there is something major that happens in this. The thing here is, how does Kenny stay motivated? He says he feels like a king. He's defeated all comers, and now he's going to take some time off because there's no one else to face. No one can dethrone Kenny Omega. There's no one else in AEW, so he's going to go off and do something else. That's when the Dark Order came out. That's when my heart stopped, because we know who has been hanging out with the Dark Order.
Indeed.
That's Hangman Adam Page. But he wasn't with them. Dark Order came out. Uno did the talking here, and Uno said he thinks differently. That he knows someone who needs to face Kenny Omega. We know someone too.
We do.
But Kenny said he doesn't think if the person they're talking about is who he thinks they're talking about, he doesn't think that person has the guts. He doesn't think that person has the right to hold this belt. Goodbye, good night, bang. He left. I was waiting this whole time for Hangman's music to hit. Yeah. I think probably a lot of people were. It's like any minute now as we're going to hear it. We didn't hear it. But what this does, and you're as excited as I am, this is the beginning of the Hangman Kenny Omega story that we have all been waiting for. This is the start.
To quote High School Musical, this is the start of something new. So excited.
I've never seen a High School Musical, but it makes sense.
You're gonna have to now. Oh my goodness. I was just like, to be honest with you, to begin with, I was like, here we go, Kenny Omega, blah, 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 blah. You know, like what he does, rumbles on.
Yes.
Stole the bell. So, yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I'm happy you're going away. Like, I don't want to see you every week. Oh. And then Evil Uno just, I love how Evil Uno works. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just brilliant. It just makes me so giddy. And it's like all the Dark Order there, and like, and I'm going, there's somebody missing. They've forgotten somebody. And then obviously he was like, we think you've forgotten something. Kenny's like, 5? You want to think 5 could face me? And it's just like, 5? Like, he constantly gets bullied, like, all the time.
All the time.
And then they're like, no, it's no. Oh, I just, when Kenny was like, if it's the person I think you're thinking of, I was like, is the person you're thinking of? Is it the person you're thinking of? I was just like, come on, say it. And then like the crowd was chanting it. And I was just going, come on. He's not saying it. I don't know why I was desperate from saying it, because I knew who it was. But I just thought if he doesn't say it, it's not real.
Just put it in words. You just want to hear him say words, Adam Page.
Say Adam Page. Words. Use your words. Because like, how long have we waited?
Gosh.
This like, and I'm not going to like say, oh, we've waited for so long, because obviously they can't do something like this with no crowd. And there has to be some measurement to time. In between everything, I get that, but it literally feels like we've watched Hangman fall apart, be put back together, but now he's just comfy where he is. He doesn't want to progress. He's just stagnant, and it's like he needs that push. But I was just like, please just say his name. But no, they didn't say his name, so I just assumed it was Hangman.
Yeah, I assume it was, and it's safe to assume that because we'll hear from Hangman a little later, in the Dark Order again.
If I could watch any bit over and over again from this show, it that just on repeat, just going, oh my god, because I just get more excited each time.
As soon as that Dark Order music hit, like I just
because dude, you know as
really
well,
like now.
You know as well that you were saying it's all out. It's going to happen all out. It's like, nah, it's going to be full kids. I think it's all out.
Yes. Yep.
We could be previewing all out with Kenny Omega versus Hangman. Oh my god! Finally, we will be united on a prediction show.
Yes. We will be. I'm so I didn't realize it was going to get kicked off on this show, and I'm just really, really excited because now every time Kenny Omega's in the ring, we are going to be anticipating Paige's music hitting, and I know it's not going to
hooks for months now.
Yeah, I know it's not going to happen the next time. I know it's not going to happen the time after that. But once you get past that third appearance, it starts like, okay, well, is this could be it? Like, it's just that.
I know. I also can't wait for the BT bit because, like, if this filters in, absolutely glorious. So excited.
Here we go.
So
folks.
excited.
Here we go. So next we had Brian Pillman cutting a promo on Miro. Why would you want to cut a promo on Miro?
It's just. No.
I know, but Pillman's good. His promos are really good. So yeah, he said he does not have the same faith as Miro, but he's always had friends like Griff behind him. And he's going to show everyone tonight that Miro is just a big Bulgarian bully. As if he used another word other than. And then this rolled right into the Miro versus Brian Pillman Jr. match. Miro versus Brian Pillman Jr. for the TNT title. And Miro is now officially being called God's favorite champion, the Redeemer, with new music and everything.
Moved away.
Yes.
From that other thing.
He's got new music. Like it's epic sounding music
epic
too.
Music.
It does. It fits what he's doing now. So, but yeah, he pounded Pillman earlier. It was all Miro from the beginning, just pounding him. Pillman fought back into it, and he was really feeding off the crowd. That was the big thing with Pillman. The crowd was loving Pillman, and that was good to see. Yeah. But one kick from Miro changed every bit of that. It turned the tides back around to Miro. Miro locked in the game over, and he rolled back with this on Pillman, and that looked brutal with him.
It looks really painful, that as well.
It does.
Like legit painful.
And Pillman passed out. But I thought it was cool. They didn't have him tap. That says a lot for what they think of Pillman, too. He didn't tap. He just literally passed out from it. It did look like Pillman was in trouble. Like the way he sold it. Like he sold it like $1 million. The ref had to stop it. Game over for Pillman. Miro retained. No surprise in him retaining, but I did enjoy this match. Thought it was good.
100%. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, Miro is now officially a beast. Like, we said this every time like someone's had the TNT title, but I can't see him ever losing it right now. Like,
no.
Oh my goodness. And like his entire like overhaul of everything, like, it seems crazy that it's happened so soon after his debut, like that it's already had an overhaul of character, but it was needed, 100% needed. We'll never know why it really happened the other way around, but we can now safely know that that's in the past. I did expect like Penelope Ford to be with him or something, but like it wasn't like a necessary thing. I just expected it, and also the way he squared up to Aubrey was like, like, oh my god.
Aubrey just held her hands up like, hey, dude.
Yep. It just makes him like, he's just such a beast
imposing.
now. 100. He is huge, dude. Like huge.
He's a tank.
He is.
And what this can do too, his character is and how dominant he is. This is the perfect way to build to really get a babyface over, because the person who beats him for that title can get over in this. Because of how
100%.
Great Miro is. So you keep building this up, and the person who takes it can get over because of how, and they're the one to finally, take down Miro, because he honestly looks unbeatable. I mean, it makes you question, why is he not the world champion? Because but in the sense, it also gives the TNT title prestige, which the quote unquote secondary title. I know,
But
don't
it
really want
doesn't
to call it
feel
the
like
secondary
that, to be
title.
honest with you.
It doesn't. I know.
That's the
And that's
thing.
what's so great. It feels as important as the world title.
And it's also not been around as long as world title, but it feels like just as important. Like anybody in that company, Kenny Omega, anybody can have that title, and it wouldn't feel small.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know what it is. Like I genuinely am happy that I can't even think of anybody that would take it off him. I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
When normally we're like constantly like thinking, oh, who's it going to be? But with Miro, I just generally don't want to know. I'm quite happy how everything is right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody beat up. But we'll see. We'll see. Now we're going to hear from Hangman.
Well,
yeah, Hangman was not happy with the Dark Order. No, he was not happy that the Dark Order is out there speaking on his behalf. But then the Dark Order, one by one, began giving him words of encouragement. And Alex Reynolds stopped as he was leaving and looked at Hangman and said, "You've waited long enough. This is your time."
Like this entire Hangman story, I think everyone has had it in the feels for it. But as someone personally that suffers with like mental health problems and like self-esteem issues, I know you won't believe it, but I do. This like really like hit home for me because I constantly don't believe in myself that I can do X, Y, and Z. And I'm constantly told by everybody else around me, you can, you this, you that. And what the problem is with this type of thing is, it doesn't matter how many times someone tells you, you're good enough. This is like, you're really good at this or whatever. If you've not got that self-belief, it's really hard to like agree with somebody, and you kind of take offense to think like that's what they think. Like, how can they think that when you feel like you're such, not worth anything? So I really feel, I know it's wrestling, but I feel bad for Hangman Adam Page so much because he's literally caught between like what is essentially pulling him forward, and he's resisting it, and it's just like he just wants to settle. He just wants like zero pressure, and the pressure that comes with facing Omega comes with having like the world title. It's like being like the big boss of a company. The pressure that is going to be there is ridiculous. And when he's had that pressure before, with like when he had the tag titles, he ended up, starting drinking because of the pressure. Things got frayed with his friends. Then he had no support. Then Omega literally let him drop in the middle of the ring at the end. And he must be thinking like, I've had it good before. Why we're having it good this time be any different? Like he has no reason to believe, win or lose, the Dark Order will be there for him because he's not experienced that. It's like trying to convince like a dog from a shelter that not all humans are bad. Like it's so tough.
I think how you talked about how you can really relate to this, and I think this is why so many people are behind this story, because I think a lot of people can. There's a lot of people that relate to it more than we realize, whether it's in smaller ways or bigger ways.
Yeah.
But it's that almost finding comfort in your sadness, I guess. But in what you're used to. It's like if you find happiness or you find success, then you have to step out of that comfort zone. Even if you were sad in that comfort zone, you were comfortable in your sadness. I'm assuming that's kind of, so it's almost like he's going to be uncomfortable if he finds success. So he doesn't want to be successful. Where all of us are wanting him to be successful.
Yeah.
But it's just like you said, if somebody's trying to tell you, and I can tell you 1,000 times, you are successful, you're amazing, and then those words don't matter because you only feel how you feel. It doesn't matter what I'm saying or what anybody else says, and that's where he is. Like you said, he's, even though the Dark Order is encouraging him this whole time, he took a drink at the end of that because, I hear your words, but I'm fine where I am. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's sort of like he's got like an anxiety thing around it. It's just like he can't like the saying, if you can't see the wood for the trees, it's like there's nothing, like there's so much blocking his mind that he can't foresee. It's like I always say, this is like the saying that I use so much. Like everybody always says, like, you know, hope for the best. And I always go, no, I expect the worst, because anything that's better than the worst is a gain. So
True.
like he is literally a pessimist right now. He can't foresee how anything good can come out of this. Yet everybody else around him knows he can do it. So
like you set your expectations low and you won't be disappointed.
Exactly, 100%. And that's sadly why I live my life. But
well,
it's just, but it's true though. If you're in that type of situation and you've tried to succeed before and you didn't really succeed in the way you wanted to, because obviously he didn't expect his friend to abandon him when they lost the tag titles. That wasn't part of the, no. And he had guilt with that. So if you that's the last thing that you remember of like having some success, then you're going to avoid it. It's scarring.
This is why this has been, in my opinion, the best story that I've seen in wrestling in a long time.
I've said it so many times. This could literally be a movie.
Yeah,
it's the perfect movie of like the rise, the fall, and the rise again.
And there's so many layers to it. And we talked about the details of how he looked after he won his match last week.
Yeah.
You know, he looked downtrodden just for a second.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's such a cool story, even from a distance watching it. But the closer you look, the more attention you pay to this, the better it is. It's has so many flavors to it.
And also, even if and when he wins it, the title, it doesn't necessarily mean. Well, we know that, but even after that, it doesn't necessarily mean this storyline's done, because there's literally so much. This could literally, entire storyline could run for years and years and years, and just different aspects of it come in and out.
Because how does he handle the victory? How does he handle being at the top of the company? How does Kenny handle losing everything he had? I mean, so many. Oh yeah, the best story in wrestling. Period.
Yeah.
I don't watch every other company, so I really can't. I guess I can't honestly make that judgment, having zero knowledge of other. But in my world, I can just say this is the best story I've seen in any wrestling I've watched.
Yeah, that's the same.
In
same,
years.
Same.
Of course, there was a dark period where I didn't watch any wrestling, so who knows? Something amazing might have happened then, and I just missed it. But anyways, the DeLorean's broken, so I can't go back.
No.
Next, we had Team Taz. Well, we had Taz, Hook, and Hobbs, and we had this announcement that Taz had said we were going to get, this major announcement, and the announcement is that on July 14th, Cage and Starks are going to wrestle for the FTW Championship, because Taz says that sometimes family has to fight in order to clean things up. So are we going to settle things July 14th? Are they going to have a match? One's going to win, one's going to lose, and everything's going to be fine. And Team Taz is all happy again. Is that how it's going to go?
As if. This is Team Taz. It's like the most dysfunctional family I've ever seen. It's just ridiculous.
I love this Team Taz.
I also love the fact that Hook said some words again. Bless him. It was just like, I'm sick of it, man. I was like, that's your dad. Like, what you know? It's just like, I'm sick of it, man. Daddy.
Daddy.
I love how also Taz specifically made sure we knew that Ricky Starks will be medically cleared. He really emphasized medically cleared. Ricky Starks is going to go flying.
I'm ready to see him back in the ring.
I was so excited. I just want the entrance alone.
I love his entrance in music. It's great.
So good. Everything about that guy just makes me just genuinely I'm so happy that he exists in AEW because it just makes me happy. I know he's meant to be a heel and everything, but he just makes me happy.
Yeah, he's just like Britt Baker. They're heels, but we love them, man.
It's just
Love
the sassiness, man. I just can't get
so
over
sassy.
like how sassy he is.
So we went from such an awesome segment to
hey, Woody, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the debut that happened in this match?
Vicky's in-ring debut?
I thought we was getting another one.
Dang it. We were wrong. Like
so
90%
wrong.
of the wrestling world was wrong. Man.
So wrong. Like,
you know,
everybody was so sure of this.
Oh
my God.
You know, and I think I don't know. I think that I would have received this match better had I not had my hopes up for a debut. I really don't think I would have because I was no, but I think that it just the letdown of not having a debut just made this even worse to me.
Yeah, this is probably like one of the first matches that I've generally just gone, I can't find any enjoyment in this. Which
not that anybody did like perform badly necessarily.
No,
it's just I don't know.
From everything else on the show, this literally just fell flat so bad.
I just, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that, and the match we're talking about, by the way, I hadn't even announced the match. It's Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker and Reba Rebel. I think I could speak for both of us here. I think that we had such high expectations for Britt Baker's title run, and to this point, and I'm sure it's going to get better, but to this point, I have not enjoyed it.
No.
I've enjoyed very little of what I've seen so far from her title run. I'm not sure if the blame is to be put on her or, whoever's officially booking these segments, but I just have not enjoyed it at all.
No.
Judging by how things happened at the end of this, it got very physical. Things could get ramped up. We'll see. But so in the end, was Britt Baker putting the lockjaw on Vicky Guerrero to end it. And Vicky screaming once it got locked on and tapping out. I think she kept tapping out even after Baker let go. She just kept hitting the mat. But in the post-match, Nyla Rose attacked Britt Baker from behind. And there was a table set up on the outside. And Nyla powerbombed Baker from the ring through the table on the floor, smashed her through that table. And at the same time, it looked like Rebel may have been injured during the match. She did something to her knee. She had to kind of crawl out of the ring. So after it was done, you had Baker, brutalized on the outside, and Rebel, still being checked on by the medical people. Even though Baker and Rebel won, it did not end well for the duo at the end of this match because Nyla was left looking strong.
I just don't understand why this happened if there wasn't a debut.
Yeah.
I just why was Vicky Guerrero in the ring? Why?
It felt like, I don't know. It felt like they were going for a bit of comedy in this, and I don't think it was needed.
Look, I said this so many times. Vicky Guerrero is brilliant. Everything. Vicky Guerrero is amazing. Just the character that she plays. The voice, oh God, no. And she can't wrestle. It's like me going into the ring. It's not gonna work.
And she didn't do terrible for what she can do, I guess.
Anything really.
But I didn't want to see it. I guess I don't think hardly anybody did. So it's not
and also,
a knock on her ability. It's just a knock on whoever decided to put her there.
And also, what I said to you before we started recording was, why did they put a heel champion through a table and sort of faced her?
Yes, because that was a good point you made, because that is something you do to a baby face.
Yeah.
To get heat on that heel.
Yeah.
And Baker was not treated as a babyface in this.
No.
She put the lockjaw on Vicky Guerrero, which is going to get a cheer from the crowd because that's okay. We would like to see Vicky tap out. That happened, so that was a babyface move. But you're right, having Nyla put her through a table is something you do to a babyface to get sympathy for that babyface. And why are they wanting us to feel sympathy for Britt Baker?
Look, I get she's like a popular champion, and I get as a heel, she isn't received as a heel by the crowd. But even that, you cannot turn her face. She's done so much work to get this heel persona over because her being a face didn't work. We know that. And maybe down the line, it might work again, but just let her have the run as a heel champion.
Yeah.
And I just hope that when all the Japanese women come back, we're back on the road. This is all going to pick up. A title reign will be amazing. But let's just never see something like this again, please. Thank you.
My only hope is that they don't, even after her taking the babyface bump through the table, is that they don't treat her like a babyface now. They can let it be heel and let her keep doing the same heel promos and demeanor that she had even after taking that bump. So even though it was a babyface type move to have her take that bump, still hoping they don't. They're big on tweeners, having people, not necessarily be face or heel. So I still would like to see her play the same character she's been playing. I think they can still do that. It's not like they have to
I don't even want it to be a tweener. I just want her to be heel. Don't ruin it.
Don't mess it up. I don't know how you can mess Baker up, man. She's brilliant. So let's just get this thing back on track.
Well, they've messed Lance Archer up. They've messed Miro up to begin with.
They got Miro right. Miro's back. He's amazing.
Eventually.
Yes. But he's here. He is God's favorite champion now. So they got him there. I think. Not sure what's happening with Lance just yet, but I have confidence that he is going to find something in that warehouse that's going to, he's going to light the world up. And I have confidence that Baker is going to be right back on track. She's going to have an awesome match with Nyla Rose and move on to something more palatable for us. That's what I have confidence. All right.
Just the process.
You know who else has confidence? Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz. They are very confident.
Oh, my God. I legit love this.
Because it was announced that Hager, Santana, and Ortiz are going to face Wardlow and FTR next week at the Road Rager in Miami. And Hager bets that the Inner Circle is tired of seeing them. And he was also really fired up that the Pinnacle put their hands on Dean Malenko. Santana also got fired up, letting FTR know that since they'll have Tully in their corner, who's going to be in Proud and Powerful's corner?
Conan.
Yes.
Conan.
Are you fired up for this match?
Can I just say, Jake Hager punched a wall and didn't bat an eyelid.
No.
Which, that guy's tough. Hager is also crazy, like generally crazy.
He looks crazy.
Anything with Santana and Ortiz, just sign me up. Just you don't even have to sell it to me. Just tell me it's happening, and I'm happy. I am so ready to see them wrestle a match. I know they've done Blood and Guts, and I know that they did Stadium Stampede, but they've not done a match.
Tag. Yes, just a tag match for them. I
also love the fact that this is like a teaser for them VFTR as well at some point.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Because I'm assuming this has got to lead to FTR and Proud and Powerful feuding over a shot at the Young Bucks is what it's going to really boil down to. Because they're both in the top 5. I would assume they're slowly going to start moving their way up, which means they're going to have to start getting some tag wins. So we're going to have to start seeing Santana and Ortiz wrestle as a team. I know they've wrestled some on Dark or an Elevation, I believe, recently. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe they have. But I want to see them as a tag team on Dynamite, and FTR wrestle as a tag team on Dynamite also, and just start building those wins up until they finally clash, because that's coming. That's coming. It's inevitable. And I would love to see that clash before a shot at the tag titles.
Well, in the rankings as of yesterday, in the tag team rankings, Varsity Blondes are 15-4, the Acclaimed are 13-3, FTR 5-0, Private Party are 6-1, and Santana and Ortiz are 5-2.
Yep. So, yeah. Right.
Did you hear MJF's little speech before the match started?
No, I did not.
Like MJF said, like, I think during your commercial break, it was on Fight that he was like calling the fans and everything, and then he was just like something along the lines of like, "I'm gutted the pandemic's over." I can't remember the exact words, but it's something like, "I'm sad the pandemic's over," or something like that. It's like
because the fans are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only MJF can get away with saying he's a fan of the pandemic, and that's basically what he was saying.
Yeah,
he enjoys the pandemic or has enjoyed it. That's just MJF being MJF, man. That's
brilliant.
Yeah. So the main event, highly anticipated. MJF.
I don't even think you can actually run through this all over, because otherwise
I can't
forever.
I can't. I'm gonna have to go straight to the finish. There's no way. So MJF versus Sammy Guevara. This is a clash that has been building for a while. The leader of the Pinnacle versus the hero, I would say, of the Inner Circle. But this is a ton of stuff happening in this match. Yeah, it's hard to go move for move. I mean, because at the beginning of it, they were just there was one-upsmanship. They were countering everything, just some insane stuff. But it all led to the setup for the ending was Wardlow came out. So Wardlow attacked Jericho at the announce table, then brought him out onto that stage that's set up behind the ring that we talked about earlier. And he started yelling at the ref to distract him. Then he hurled Jericho off of the stage onto the floor. While the ref was turned, Shawn Spears was at ringside with the chair, and he smoked Sammy in the head with the steel chair, which allowed MJF to get the cover for the victory. And Shawn Spears, they showed his face at ringside after he used that chair. He looked like he was just breathing in the moment. He looked
psycho
Shawn Spears. Yes,
you gotta love it.
I thought about you when I saw that face, because I said she's like popping for that.
Oh God, yeah. Isn't it weird? I like all the twisted stuff.
It's really not now. I've gotten used to it. It might be weird to somebody else out there, but for me, it's just another day at the office. But but I'll tell you, this it's whatever now. But it's just Sarah being Sarah.
Yeah.
But this match was to where, and I'm gonna let you give your thoughts on it here in just a second. But last week we had Jungle Boy versus Omega, and that felt like a mat wrestling kind of clinic. I mean, it was more mat based. It was smooth. This was all about the spots. There were so many spots. Some you could tell they were building to. Some happened pretty fluidly. But when those spots happened, wow. I mean, they were gravity defying sometimes. Some of the stuff, especially that Sammy Guevara did. And several times where I was really, really worried about Sammy's health in this match. Super concerned, especially with his neck after that pile driver off the top rope.
Yeah.
I was really concerned about his neck. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this thing?
Oh my goodness. Like, I expected a lot from this match, like, I will be honest. And they literally, like, I think they over did themselves, like, oh my goodness, this was insane. Like, this is like the first time they've met one-on-one, and I think this is like gonna go down as one of them matches, as just like in years and years to come, in like 20 years time, it'll be like top 10 AEW matches you have to see. And this is going to be in there because, oh my goodness. Like, they didn't stop. They were one-upping each other for 15 minutes, it seemed like.
That opening,
it just kept going and going and going. And it was just like Sammy doing his little spin and then, Sammy flipping back and then MJF going, I can do that too. And I was just like, I have never, I will give credit where credit is due because that is what the person I am. But I have never seen MJF wrestle this well.
Yeah.
And I was just, okay, we've said so many times, he constantly boasts about himself and all this, the best ever and all this type of thing, better than you and all that. And from what we've seen previously, it's are you though?
Yeah.
Are you? This, he 100% can have that now because this and the Moxley match are two that stick in my mind of where I've just gone, why? Why doesn't he do this all the time? And obviously he doesn't do this all the time because when he does it, you need this reaction. You need this, oh my God, I can't believe he can do that. But he is really, really good. Really good.
And he's grown over the past 2 years, or so that we've watched him. From the first match I saw of MJF, you can definitely see the progression. And with this, we see Sammy and MJF, and you talked about how this is a match we'll go back to watch and go, how great of a match was that? It's also, I feel like, the beginning of this lifetime feud that's going to happen between Sammy and MJF. We talk about Moxley and Kenny Omega, you feel like there's always going to be that Moxley-Kenny Omega feud for the duration of their careers in AEW that you'll always come back to. There'll be another match, something else. I feel like this thing with MJF and Sammy, it ended right now at Dynamite, but we're going to be seeing them clash for the next several years for their careers in AEW. Definitely not over with. And those matches are just going to keep getting better because I don't think we've even hit peak Sammy or peak MJF yet. So just imagine, I talked about how you felt those spots building up. I think as good as they get, the next time they face, the spots are going to be so fluid that you're not going to see them coming. They're just going to happen. It's going to get natural. The more they work together, it's going to be not as rigid, but not that it was bad, but it's just going to be where the spots just, I didn't see that coming. Boom, instead of seeing it set up, because sometimes you can see them get set up. It's just the more they work together, the better it's going to get.
And you just know that this isn't the last time that we've seen them two together. And also, the thing is with this as well, which, like you said, they're going to get better and better. They've set the bar so high
already
for what they can do. It's when Stadium Stampede 1 first happened, they set the bar so high. It's like the Blood and Guts match. They set that bar so high. This is crazy.
What next? What next?
What can they do next? And also, can we just take a moment for the fact that they both flew out of the ring into the crowd?
Yes.
They both just basically grew wings and then dropped the wings because they just fell. Every time I see bits where wrestlers land in the crowd, I always say to myself out loud as well, this is why I'll never get front row seats. It's like last week with Jungle Boy, that's why I'll never get front row seats. Or nothing with Darby Allin, I'll never get front row seats because I don't want the pressure of having to try and cushion somebody's blow onto concrete. I'll more than likely break my wrist and my arm. No, there's nothing of me to cushion. And also, I'll end up in an ambulance.
Yeah.
I may find Shaq, but I'll end up in an ambulance.
You'll end in that magical ambulance
in that magical accident and go. I'll end up going, Shaq, where the hell are we? I've been here for ages.
I'm just here shooting free throws.
I can't get out. And I'm like, Why am I in America? I'm meant to be in the UK.
Never even played basketball.
I know. So I can't be in the front.
No. Okay. So yeah,
like,
keep you out of the front row. Got you.
Kudos to the guys that like just all of a sudden had MJF and Sammy Guevara at their feet, and I actually saw one guy help MJF up. Now, that's a wrestling fan. I hate you, but you're a really good performer, so let me help you up.
Anybody who helps MJF must be a saint.
Yeah.
Just saying. You're a really good guy to help somebody.
So good. So
but
good.
there's so many, like, my God, the double springboard cutter by Sammy in this. Just the balance. Again, we always compare balancing rope moves to what Phoenix does. Sammy, don't sell Sammy short. The springboard moves are becoming his staple. I mean, the springboard destroyer. Oh, JF, like what? But honestly, though, I talked about the injury, like his neck. Were you sold that something was really wrong with his neck? I feel like I just got worked this whole show.
You see, I
was worried about Eddie's ribs, and I was really worried about Sammy's neck.
I got worked with MJF's knee.
That too, because he was still selling it big time after the match.
Yeah, but what I always think is, like, I will 100% get worked, but then I'm like, if the ref is like genuinely like checking in and just like continues things, I'm okay.
Yeah, because the doctors didn't come get involved or anything. But
then again, when you say that, they also didn't do it with Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's where my mind goes.
I know.
And I guess what bothered me after the Avalanche pile driver, which it looked like he landed okay. It didn't look like a rough landing or anything. But after that, everything really slowed down, and like MJF kind of sort of tried to pick him up and then put Sammy back down. The ref kept everything really slowed down, and it made me think, what if he got a stinger or something? Something happened. It wasn't
I also think though, they were probably absolutely exhausted.
Exactly.
They've been going for so long at such a high speed.
True. It might have just been the timing of everything. I was concerned though. I was really worried about Sammy. But anyway, so good that he was okay. Good that he was okay.
Like, I think we would have heard something if there was something going on. And also, don't worry, Sammy's vlog's out on Tuesday. We can check in on it.
We can find out. If it's from the hospital, we'll know. Right? But I feel like I totally got worked with these injuries because
100%. But the thing is, though,
that's twice on this show they had me. Yeah.
The thing is, though, is they're doing their job. Like,
exactly.
If you're getting work like that bad, like I was 100% convinced, like MGF's knee is now non-existent. I was like, he's going to be Chris Statlander out forever.
And we watch a lot of wrestling, so if it's working us.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, after this match, I was so invested in the story and the match, and I was not prepared for that farewell video to Jacksonville.
No.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Was not ready for that. Such a beautiful video package for the fans that were there and for all the fans that have showed up at Jacksonville, and for us, who've watched this throughout the pandemic, and to honor what AEW has done during the pandemic, because they've entertained us throughout this whole period with wrestling every Wednesday, sometimes Friday, sometimes Saturday, but still every week. We had 2 hours of Dynamite every week, and it's such an awesome way to cap it off with that video. Very emotional, especially when we see, especially the clips of Brody. I mean, that was hard not to get emotional watching that. So
and also like speaking from like, I know I'm not the only one, but like when like obviously I was shielding for like a year and a bit was really not fun. Sometimes the only thing I had to actually pull me through the week was anything AEW related. So I knew BT was on Monday. Sammy's vlog was on Tuesday, and then I had a break, and then Thursday I'd watch wrestling, and then it would just start over again. And that is literally how like I dragged myself through, because my husband was working away. I couldn't see my family or my friends. It was just me and the dog in the house. And that is literally the only way I could tell what day of the week it was. And also the only reason why, on Thursday mornings, I even bothered to like get out of bed sometimes, because I had nothing else going on. So, major thanks to AEW for like literally, dragging my butt through a pandemic. It was just so, and also when you look at all the debuts that happened, like with no crowd, it's crazy to think like how much story, like look at it this way, John Moxley's entire reign was there in a no crowd era. It's just crazy of and then like the first shot of when Daly's place was empty, it just felt so eerie,
jarring.
I don't even remember it like that. It was just so like, I don't know, it just took me straight back to that, where I was like, what, Cody's speech and Kenny Omega coming out, and it's like, what is happening?
I remember that first show because I'm sure a lot of people thought the same way. I'm like, what are they going to do? Because this is not something we ever dealt with. No. So I'm like, are they going to be able to keep this going? Are they going to like announce, hey guys, we're going to have to shut it down for a little? I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I just vividly remember that darkness when they were just talking in the ring, and then when the fireworks went off, I went, okay, all right, game on. It was sort of an inspirational moment when that happened. Sad, but all right, we're going to keep it going, and it was great. But yeah, that was an eerie feeling though, because it's been a while since we've seen that. So just to see that darkness was. But yeah, this whole video was filled with goosebump moments because how many awesome moments for AEW that happened over 400 and something days. I think they were at Daly's place. That's just that's just amazing stuff that they were still able to pump out week after week, and like you said, carried you through a pandemic, helped carry you through a pandemic.
Yeah,
and that it meant so much to a lot of people. Meant so much for that escape for so many people during this period. It was valuable in so many ways to a lot of people. So, but we are going to get back on the road starting next Wednesday. And again, thank God we're back on Wednesdays. Yes. Yes. So here's the lineup for next week. So far announced, we have Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in a South Beach strap match. We have the Young Bucks defending the AEW Tag Team titles against Eddie Kingston and Penta. We have Andrade making his in-ring debut for AEW against Matt Sydal. We have a clash between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle when Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz take on Wardlow and FTR. Orange Cassidy is going to be teaming with Chris Statlander to take on the Blade and the Bunny in a mixed tag match. It's interesting. I like that. And we're going to have Jericho and MJF in a face-to-face in-ring confrontation. I guess that's going to be. Could be backstage. Who knows? I'm sure it'll be in-ring. It's in front of fans. So MJF and Jericho will be face-to-face. And we'll find out what the stipulations or what hoops Jericho is going to have to jump through to get this match with MJF. Awesome lineup for Miami for that crowd for the, what do they call it, the Road Rager. So, yeah. Nice lineup for the Road Rager to get back on the road. And then after that, we're off to Texas, I believe, for Fighter Fest nights 1 and 2. Some eventful dynamites on the horizon for AEW and for us.
Yep.
I know you're going to be on vacation next week, correct?
I am leaving Friday when this goes out.
Yeah, so by the time you hear this, Sarah will be on the road, going on vacation. Enjoy your vacation, ma'am.
I'm only going somewhere in the UK. It's not exact. We can't leave the UK, but I'm just ready for a break. I've not been
It's-
anywhere in over like 2 years nearly, so I'm so excited.
It's okay. I'm taking mine at the end of July, and I'm not leaving the United States, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, but your country's a lot bigger than mine. I only
It
have
is,
to
but
drive. I have to drive a few hours on the opposite side. So
Yeah. We're going to Florida, so it's about a 6-hour drive from here, so it's really not that far either. You enjoy your vacation. Don't worry
I
about a
shall.
thing.
I
So
shall.
yes, so that Dynamite review next week will be at least a day late, but we will get it out. And also, but look forward to be looking for a topic discussion we'll have up
Yes.
next week. We will still get that out to you, but more than likely there will not be a Q&A. So
No.
put those questions on a pause, and we will get back to them the following week. Still, though, keep a lookout for all of our stuff each week: our Dynamite reviews, our previews of pay-per-views, our reviews of pay-per-views, our Q&As, our topic discussions, and our Rampage reviews, which will be starting after the August 13th debut of Rampage.
Still can't believe it's on Friday the 13th.
No, that's Twilight Zone music. I don't know.
That's the wrong one.
No, is that it? Okay, yeah. I don't know. But also don't forget to follow us on Twitter. You can follow the channel at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow this guy at Let the Beard Play. You can follow that girl at Strange_Pixie. We hope you've enjoyed it.
Hope everybody enjoyed the WWE Dynamite review.
I was trying to make it through this without it being mentioned. Oh.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back next week.
Y'all have a good one out there. Be good to each other, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.